Skinwalker Ranch is most famous for being a hotbed of paranormal activity. There are 2 films and around 5 depictions of it on various television series, so most people are probably at least aware of its existence. This year, the History Channel released the first season of a TV series titled The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch, and it's an entire series dedicated to investigating the property and the mystery of what's going on there. Today, we're going to be exploring the history of Skinwalker Ranch and what makes it so fascinating. The actual name of Skinwalker Ranch is Sherman Ranch, and it comes from Terry and Gwen Sherman, who had been the owners of the ranch when, in 1996, the Deseret News published an article on the paranormal activity that occurred on and around the property. Located in Utah, this property was once a cattle ranch spanning 512 acres. The land is located in what was once 𝗬𝗓 territory, the 𝗬𝗓 being an indigenous group that had a well-documented rivalry with the Navajo, whose territory they bordered. The Navajo often tried to move into 𝗬𝗓 territory and often took them as slaves, and this animosity certainly contributed to the appearance of the Navajo in their folklore, as villains, of course. Since the 19th century, there have been reports of strange events occurring on this land and the area surrounding it, though they were neither public nor widespread until the 1970s, when UFO reports from the Uinta Basin were made public by the Sherman family. After that, claims of strange and frightening events that occurred at the ranch were covered in both newspapers and in a series of articles by the Las Vegas Mercury. These, at least, are the facts of the case of Skinwalker Ranch, but the facts don't explain the strange occurrences that have been documented on the property. For decades, stories of mysterious crop circles, UFOs, and mutilated cattle have been the most frequently discussed when looking at the case of Skinwalker Ranch. But there are plenty of other stories, ones of strange animals, skinwalkers, glowing lights, and poltergeist-like activity. For this reason, Skinwalker Ranch is now used only for research. But before we talk about that, let's discuss why this area is called a paranormal hotbed. Skinwalker Ranch and the area around it has a long history of bizarre occurrences, dating back to the tales of the 𝗬𝗓, the indigenous peoples that occupied the Uinta Basin and the area around it. UFOs and evil water spirits frequented their stories, bleeding over into the writings of European conquistadors and missionaries. One of these missionaries, 𝗱𝗶𝘀𝗽𝗂𝗃, wrote that he saw strange fireballs over his campfire while in the area. Evidently, things don't end there. Prior to selling the ranch to Robert Bigelow, founder of Bigelow Aerospace and the National Institute for Discovery Science, the Shermans saw a lot of strange things aside from the crop circles and mutilated cattle. They, like those before them, reported UFOs, glowing orbs, and even some mysterious large animals, such as a wolf that, according to Terry Sherman, was 3 times the size of a normal wolf that was unaffected after being shot multiple times at close range with a rifle. And giant wolves aren't the only creatures roaming Skinwalker Ranch. There have been multiple claims of skinwalker sightings, despite skinwalkers coming from Navajo folklore. Still, many claim to see these shape-shifting beings on the property pretty frequently. In another incident, a biochemist with the National Institute for Discovery Science claimed that his team was being watched by a large humanoid creature from a distance. It was perched in a tree, staring at them with what he described as yellow, unblinking eyes, and after they shot at it with a rifle, the creature disappeared. It did leave an oval-shaped track, roughly 6 inches in diameter, with 2 claw marks at the back. Based on the track, they couldn't determine what it was, but that it must have been heavy. Stories such as this one are where the name Skinwalker Ranch comes from. The 𝗬𝗓, the group indigenous to this region, may not have believed in skinwalkers, but they did believe that certain waterways are reservoirs of negative power, in which evil spirits reside. At Bottle Hollow, a man-made reservoir located next to Skinwalker Ranch, 4 young men saw a glowing blue-white ball dive into the lake, then emerge in the form of a belt-shaped shaft of light. It did what they described as a writhing dance before zipping away, disappearing near Skinwalker Ridge. There is no explanation for this phenomenon. This isn't all, either. There are reports of mysterious injuries, transient radiation spikes, and both audio and visual anomalies that are well documented. Again, there's no explanation for any of these occurrences, but there are people that are looking for answers. Today, Skinwalker Ranch is owned by Brandon Fugal, a Utah commercial real estate mogul that purchased the property from Bigelow in 2016. Fascinated by the stories of supernatural phenomena, Fugal, a skeptic at the time of the purchase, hired a team of scientists and investigators to find answers. So far, they only have theories, the most popular being that there is a portal located within Skinwalker Ranch. But none of these theories have been proven thus far. Fugal and his team have witnessed plenty of strange events since he purchased the property, including the sudden failure of their gear, sometimes leading to permanent damage, and unexplainable prompts from drones that there is a strong magnetic interference that they can't quite track. Batteries drain quickly on the property, high levels of radiation without a known source are often recorded, and there have been numerous documented audio and visual anomalies that can't be explained. Perhaps the most fascinating effect of visiting Skinwalker Ranch is what's known as the hitchhiker effect. That is, the lingering after effects of visiting the ranch, which set in after visitors have returned home. As with everything else concerning the area, there is no explanation for anything that comes of this. In 2017, it was revealed by the New York Times that while owned by Bigelow, Skinwalker Ranch was actually part of the Pentagon's program to investigate UFOs. It's unclear whether or not it's still part of the program under Fugal, and if so, if there's anything that's come of it, and perhaps we'll never know. There's no scientific explanation for Skinwalker Ranch that's available to the public at this time, and honestly, I'm not sure there ever will be. For now, we only have records of strange events and the stories from researchers to go off of. If you're interested in learning more about Skinwalker Ranch, there are plenty of films and TV series that investigate the claims and interview the researchers that have been involved, such as the History Channel's The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch, and the shows Portals to Hell and Ancient Aliens, the latter of these two being where I first heard about Skinwalker Ranch. If you've made it this far, thanks for watching, and let me know what you think down below.